Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I would like to tell you a little bit about data protection in practice today. Data protection is an issue that concerns everyone and what happens in every business area. My name is Heiko Maniero, I am your data protection officer. My phone number is published on your website. Your company has my mobile number. What is data protection about? It concerns personal data, identified or identifiable persons. Identified is a person who is known in your company, that is, you can assign the date by name. Identifiable are persons who can be identified by a third party, for example a license plate of a car by the police or an IP address by the internet service provider. Now we come to the topic of hacking. What hacking tools are there? What you now see on the screen is a so-called USB rubber ducky. A rubber ducky pretends to your PC that it is a keyboard. By plugging in the rubber ducky, a so-called payload is shot into the PC and types information into the PC, just like an external USB keyboard. This allows you to install a keylogger on a system. This means that within 6 seconds I can take over your computer and thus your network as soon as I have physical access to your PC. Such a keylogger would then transmit the complete data that you enter to a foreign email address. For example, the attacker could receive all the information you have entered, including your offers. On this screen you will see an OMG cable. This is available as an iPhone version as well as for USB-C or USB micro. This cable establishes a Wi-Fi network to which the attacker has access. For example, if I leave this cable in your meeting room after I have charged my mobile phone and connect it to one of your employees, I have access to this mobile phone, to the entire company's infrastructure via Wi-Fi, as well as to the terminal itself. The passwords are stored on the device and of course I can also download a copy of the entire device, then run banking apps and make transfers to me from your phone. There are also thousands of scams. One of these scams works by intercepting emails when invoices are being sent. An automatic system reads out the email address of the sender and the recipient. The system then sends a message from the sender to the recipient that the bank details have changed. The recipient pays to the wrong bank account. Therefore, caution is advised when transferring to new bank accounts. Another example is the CE off-road. At the CE off-road, an employee of the company is faked that the managing director gives him instructions to make payments. In the specific case, 40 million were transferred to Asia. The alleged managing director has informed the head of accounting that a company in Asia is to be bought. This company was allegedly the company's largest competitor in the Asian region. The alleged managing director of the company instructed the colleague from the accounting department to keep quiet and not to approach him in the company. During a 6-week communication, contract components were repeatedly mentioned with which the alleged sellers would not yet agree, suggesting that the deal would actually come about. After 6 weeks, the managing director instructed the accountant to transfer 40 million euros to an account in Singapore. That money was gone. However, there is also the small version of this scam. For example, the managing director is at a trade fair or gives a lecture. The employee then receives a message via SMS that the managing director's mobile phone and wallet have been stolen. As a result, he is asked to transfer a sum to the alleged CEO's mobile phone via Google Play Store cards or Amazon vouchers. The employee also has to say goodbye to this money. In addition, I would like to ask you not to open zip files for emails, in particular not for applicant emails, or not to click on links that are present in such emails. There are scammers who use bot systems to read job ads from the internet, for example at the Federal Employment Agency. Then the HR managers of the company will be contacted with such emails. As soon as the person responsible has clicked on a link, the attacker has access to the company's network infrastructure. This can lead to encryption of the company. With so-called ransomware, the company is induced to pay a ransom. Also on this email you can see that links are being sent. In the specific case, I have received an email from me to a company email address of a customer. This email has been sent to me. It contained a link and a note that the toilet on the second floor is flooded. With this email, several hundred people were prompted to click on the link. Emails from colleagues can also contain malicious links. What is a man-in-the-middle attack? With this small device I can fake a LAN. This means that the SSID that you use and want to log into is duplicated. Your traffic will be redirected to the correct Wi-Fi network. However, this usually does not happen at your home or in your company. However, in hotels, at airports, at Deutsche Bahn, these attacks occur. Many hundreds of people use such Wi-Fi networks at the same time. That's why I would like to ask you to install a VPN on your mobile phone. You can download a VPN client for free on the internet, for example at Avast. This software is also available for mobile phones. An acquaintance of mine, who works at a government agency and is allowed to carry out hacking attacks, went with me to Augsburg on the ice together. In the 45 minutes from Munich to Augsburg, over 70 people logged into our device. Most of the terminals had banking software installed. By means of this banking software we would have over 140,000. You can transfer euros to us, since most accounts have a daily limit of 2,000. Have euros. These are the dangers that come from your device if you do not have a VPN client installed. As you have probably noticed, data has already been stolen from WhatsApp and Facebook. Here are 487 million data records, 6 million of which are from Germany. Since the data loss, there has been an increasing number of SMS messages, especially from banks, German customs, or DHL. Please do not click on the links in these messages. With one click, your phone can be taken over. Even then, the attackers will have access to your bank account. In addition, there are numerous warnings from Abmankanzlei. As you can see from the following slides, the warnings come from various EU countries, but also from Germany. Some providers also rent postal addresses in Germany. This is also how warnings from Turkey are issued. Or you will receive a warning to Romania by email. After such an email, the Romanian lawyer goes to court in Timișoara in Romania. Because people who have been warned often do not appoint a lawyer within 14 days, a default judgment is issued. This default judgment will then be enforced by the German bailiff at your place in Germany. Therefore, I would like to ask you to have emails translated in a foreign language by the Google Translator, so that you know what is written in these emails. Our clients are also being sued in Germany or in other EU countries. In a specific case, a client was sued by me because he had not provided any information on Facebook. Facebook therefore ask you to provide information on Facebook or at least to place the information according to Article 13 and 14 on the landing pages when a customer clicks on a Facebook advertisement. This information can be found on their website and is available in all EU languages. In the so-called transparency document you will also find other legal regulations, for example the CCPA, Prof from California or the Chinese data protection law. Such information is intended for the foreign data subjects with whom you are doing business. But in this document you will also find the information that is relevant for you as an employee of the company. Now a little more into the legal. What is a processing? Processing is any operation that you carry out with personal data in your company. The processing begins with the collection of the data and ends with the deletion or destruction of the data. The data protection law is applicable to all these processes. If you have any questions about such processes, please contact me with confidence. Who is responsible under data protection law? This is your company. However, private individuals can also get a penalty from time to time. The penalty always applies to private individuals if they have wantonly violated data protection law. Such punishments are rare, but they can happen. For example, the waiters at an Italian pizzeria received a penalty for misusing COVID data. They contacted guests of the pizzeria, more precisely young ladies, by phone to arrange dates. Another example from Austria. The private operator of a public toilet installed cameras to film the intimate area of women. In this case, the Austrian supervisory authority pronounced a fine of €25,000 off. So, as you can see, Only in blatant exceptional cases does a private person receive a penalty. What are processors? These are your contractual partners to whom you transmit personal data, for example a hoster or a SaaS application. If you offered new contractual partners, please send me an information about it. Then I will take care of the necessary order processing contracts. Now for the possible fines. The federal advertising data shown here shows what the companies have earned this year. At 5 million sales, Prebo received a penalty of 1.9 million. At 12.3 million sales, Notebooks Cheaper received a penalty of 10.4 million. So you see, the penalties are immense. Therefore, I would like to ask you to contact me if you have any questions about data protection law. Through this training, we would like to prevent penalties for the company in particular. If you, as an employee of the company, should ever make a mistake, for example, if you send an email to the wrong recipient, this is not tragic. Depending on the restriction of the rights and freedoms of the data subjects, we may have to report such cases to the supervisory authority. I handle this communication. Here in Bavaria, the Bavarian State Office is responsible for data protection supervision. There are competent and friendly colleagues working there, with whom you can talk. Please do not be afraid if you have committed a data protection violation. Please just inform me and I will take care of everything necessary. I would like to show you some burglary tools and hacking tools today. For example, you can buy a low set on Amazon. With such a set, you can open all sorts of locks, for example, such a lock, just by fussing around a bit here and the lock is open. The same goes for your door locks at home. One tensioner and one low clamping. As you can see, the lock is not open. And you see, the lock is open. If you can't handle a tensioner and a lock pick, you can also order these metal key warmers for yourself. The same applies to this card, which I ordered in the USA and carry in my wallet. Here I also have all the Dietrich tools in my wallet in credit card format. This is a twin USB stick. If I place one of these sticks at your company on a USB port, I can access the network with the other stick. I use this device to copy smart cards. And already the cards are copied. As you can see, quite simple. This device is a deouter. With this device I can scan a Wi-Fi network and DUT the devices. That is, for example, I can turn off Wi-Fi cameras that transfer to the cloud. The moment I enter a company somewhere, these Wi-Fi cameras will no longer record. This is a mouse checker. If you have a lock screen with a password and I plug in this device, the lock screen will not turn on. This is a two-factor authentication token. By plugging this token, you can log into Gmail or Microsoft Office 365. There are also other authentication tools such as the Google Authenticator. Here the login codes change every minute. This is my debit card. As you can see here, it is also possible to read in a debit card via a mobile device. By installing a payment application on my mobile device, I can withdraw money from your account by contacting your wallet. For this reason, please use an RFID blocker card. With this device I can write your SIM card and store a virus in the phone number memory. As soon as you install the SIM card in a new mobile phone, I also took over your new mobile phone. This is a USB data blocker. Please plug in this data blocker when charging at public terminals. Terminals have already been installed at airports where hackers have accessed your data. The hackers have pulled virtual copies of the terminal. As a result, the passengers' banking apps were used to make transfers. This is an encrypted USB stick. By entering a PIN code, the data is encrypted and cannot be read by a third party. Please use such a USB stick when transporting data. Kali Linux is installed on this completely normal Android phone. To hack a LAN, I just have to intercept the handshake between two end devices. If you have an older router, I can download the handshake via my mobile phone and calculate your password. For newer routers, I transfer the handshake to the cloud. Your password will then be calculated there and sent back to me. I'm already on your LAN and have access to all your devices. I would like to thank you very much for your attention.